Welcome back to another episode of the Point of Difference podcast, the show where you learn about how to be successful in sports by people from the world of pro sports. My name is Angus Henskins.
And I'm Shaq Shora.
And today's guest is Alex Higgins-Titsha.
Titch, the hometown hero whose story can serve as a reference for any future players wanting to make it through the ranks.
So after this, Alex Higgins-Titsha. Alex Higgins-Titsha, welcome to the Point of Difference podcast.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely. Alex, kind of where I want to start is a pretty broad question, which is how do you think you define yourself as a player? What type of player are you?
I don't know. I think I don't know if I have a word for it, but I think without doing, I think a big part of my game is just doing stuff without needing to have the ball. I think I just try to play it as hard as I can, and I don't know, just cutting off the ball, maybe sending little off ball screens, all these little things. I think that's allows me to slot in with other main players and stuff, and just do the little things that help the team.
Yeah, I love your play style, and I think it's cool to see you be true to sort of the type of player you are and see that translate. I know you've been probably in your own mind for longer than in the mind of other people, sort of a fringe NBL player. And I think what a lot of people do when they are on the fringe of making sort of a jump is they try and expand their game to, all right, well, now I shoot off the bounce. Now I'm a back to the basket player. I've got to keep adding layers. Whereas I think what you did was you stayed true to the type of player you are and just sort of refined it and kept improving on that. And where it's put you now is you're in that situation where you don't have to be the guy, and it suits you. Is that how you feel about that sort of transition? Because you've made it a bit smoother than some other people.
Yeah, I think 100%. Even when I was playing NBL 1 the last couple of years, realizing that obviously I'm more of a main guy there, but if you're just really good at the little things, you're going to get out of the court. If you're playing defense, if you're rebounding, if you're catch and shoot. Because especially if I'm like a rookie first year, or even if you're a 5-year and you're not a starter, you're not expected to ISO some guys and stuff. If you do the little things, that's what's gonna get you on the court. So I think I just focus on doing those little things and listen to coaches, and that's helped a lot for sure.
How do you go about the maturity of realizing that? Because it's so much easier said than done. Like, guys will be in the off season, ball in hands the whole time, whereas we'll say 50% of your scores come in transition, all this open court play. And the beauty of it is you've bought into it so well, and it's translated into every level. How do you go about actually committing to that?
Well, I think I've had even in NBL 1, I had coaches and people around me saying you can refine your skills, get better at all this other stuff, but if you really want to make it, just get good at these little things. And if you can perfect that, you can have a long career of just there's heaps of guys in the NBL and even the NBA, other leagues where in high school, they might average 30 or whatever. We see it all the time. And then once you get to the NBA, they're just you're a defender, catch and shoot, or you're a facilitator, defend. That's it. But sometimes that's all it needs, and that's what teams are looking for. So I think, realizing that is important for sure.
Yeah, understanding your role and then being great in your role. I think all the time about how sort of when you're coaching, the way Shaq and I are, when you're an assistant coach or when you're the video guy like me, it's a very different skill set to when you're the head coach. And so obviously, there's a trajectory there. And as you improve at one skill, you increase, and then one day you have that sort of load. But when you're a player, especially the way that you've done it, sort of just remaining in that role. And so maybe that's where we turn to, which is when you started playing competitively for the first time, and sort of how basketball came to you. Was this always the case? Did you change your play style? All of that stuff. Where did you start playing, and how was that?
Well, I first started playing when I first went to Wavy, year 7. I played soccer and rugby before that, but when I found basketball, I just fell in love with it. And then obviously I started following the NBA a lot, so that was my thing. But then, I played all through high school, and then started playing reps under 18s, then youth league after that. But and then NBL 1, and then, I don't know, through high school I just fell in love with basketball, and I was taking it seriously, but not as serious as I probably should have. I didn't necessarily believe that I could play professionally. I was trying to do, and I was playing and because I loved it. But then, last 3-4 years, I've had people around me telling me like, if you really want to do this, you can do this. And I think not that I wasn't taking it seriously before, but I guess I kind of knuckled down and was trying to do the right things to take me to the next level.
Can we talk about that a little more? Do you think, like, was it in your head about taking it seriously? Because you obviously were beforehand, but do you think hearing it from the external environment and the support and people like, we actually back you to be able to crack it, is that what flipped the switch for you to be like, okay, I can actually go and do this?
I think so. When I was playing for the Bulls, NBL 1, that people around me, like, if you really want to do this, like, you can, like, everyone, I had a lot of people around me, which I think that was the little switch that I needed to, like, really, really knuckle down, because, like, I'll get people telling me I believe in this and believe in me. So I just had to start, like, believing in myself a bit more and just really knuckling down. And then, each year I got better and better, and, there started being little interest from NBL teams and everything. So that even more motivated me to really want to get to the next level.
What does it look like on a day-to-day basis once you make that decision of like, I want to pursue this?
Yeah.
For a guy, let's say like, a lot of our listeners are Sydney-based or like Australia, city-based. Obviously you were in uni and doing all this stuff. What does that change look like?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I guess I was living, I just try to get in the gym as much as I can. I was living at home, so I still got to work. I'm at uni, coaching and everything. So I don't know. My schedule was I had work. I probably had 2 days off, or I made sure I had 2 days off, maybe with a few hours of coaching in there. But I'd make sure I'd go to the gym, make sure I'd work out, and then obviously we have NBL 1 training. So I know a lot of times I just have like work, then coaching, then to training. So I was just kind of trying to balance everything, because obviously, you have to make money at the end of the day. So yeah, I don't know. I didn't have like necessarily a set schedule. I kind of did once I knew the days I was working, knew the days I had uni, knew the days I have NBL 1 training. So, I try to work around that. But then obviously sometimes with work, you can't necessarily, you can't stop doing that. So I don't know. It's always good. I just try to get shots up as much as I can. And then with NBL 1 training, we could always come in early, get shots up there, and just trying to get stronger as well in the gym as much, 34 times a week, just whenever I can. Yeah.
I think it wouldn't be disrespectful to call you a late bloomer in basketball.
100%.
And like, I played against you growing up, and obviously as you got older, you were improving and getting better. From an outsider and from people that maybe don't know you personally, it can kind of seem like a very linear pathway upwards from, the end of high school, and you sort of keep growing and improving and not seeing the day-to-day. It can kind of feel like it's come easy to you. You've just mentioned like real life stuff as well. Like I've got to pay bills. I've got to uni. Sort of in the sort of environment of I'm doing all these other stuff with my life. How do you still like make the time, have the focus to invest so much into your basketball as well?
Yeah, well, I think after I knew like, okay, this is what I want to do, that's like the main goal. So like, and the good thing is obviously like a lot of my work was coaching as well. So I'm like, it's still basketball. I'm still thinking basketball. And then after that, I'm going to I'm still training all the time. And on the weekends we have games. So I know, I'm just thinking like, obviously I have to pay bills and rent or whatever, but like, I'm just, everything I'm doing there is for me trying to get to the next level, and just, I don't know, everything I was doing work and coaching, whatever, but like the goal was still like NBL for sure, because I don't know, obviously I signed with Cairns for this season, but the season before I kind of was talking to a couple of teams, but nothing really happened there. So then the next season I was more motivated, like, I got one more year of DP eligibility, so I was like, because I was getting little rumblings here and there, but nothing ended up happening. So I just feel like next year has to be it.
Okay. Yeah. I want to talk about, you're the perfect like case study for any player sticking with the system and like working their way up. Like, I think it's so cool. And when we like get found that we're going to have you here, I think it's like we both straight away think about like the million times we play against you or with you and it's whatever it is. And it's like, man, one of us, mate, like how sick is that, How do you go from, what was it bounce like from youth league into NBL 1, obviously changing clubs in that too. And then, again, the next bounce from NBL 1 into cracking the NBL. Can you talk to us about those?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I played Youth League Comets for like 3 years. And then I've always thought like my last year of Youth League, and I think we had a good team, but I thought I could have played. I had 1 year of like before the COVID year got cut off, and I played like Waratah men's or the NBL 1 before NBL 1. So I always thought I was good enough to play at that level. Then obviously, when NBL 1 started in the East, Comets didn't have a team, so I moved to Inner West. Daniel Kim asked me to come over there. So the adjustment from Youth League to NBL 1 wasn't too bad. I guess the first year I was still trying to, because when NBL 1 started, it improved. There was less teams, so all the people went to different teams. So I was still trying to find my feet, and even in my first year of NBL 1, like it took me. The first half of the season, I was still trying to find my feet. I wasn't really that confident, and I wasn't really that good. In the second half, I really became more of a focal point of the team, and I still only averaged like 10 or 11 points, but like definitely in the second half of the season, I felt a lot more comfortable, and then the next year, even more comfortable. I was one of the main guys, and DK really, wanted me to be the main guy, and the next year after that, even more. And then, as I said it before, I got the year before some NBL teams are hitting me up. So NBL teams. Didn't happen. Next year got even better, and then got the opportunity in Cairns. But then obviously the jump from NBL 1 to NBL was pretty big. Like you're paying all these guys and imports, and even just playing. Like I got lucky to play a lot of games, but just playing against guys every day, and even the training environment more intense. And 40 of course is very intense, but I know it was awesome. And preseason helped us a lot for sure in NBL.
Yeah, in preparation for these podcasts, I like to listen to podcasts that you've been on, and you always make the point to mention DK Daniel Kim, who's now an assistant coach with Tokushima Gambaroos. I hope I haven't butchered that.
I couldn't pronounce that either. So
well, and obviously I have a lot of respect for him as a coach, but I think is it the style of coaching that he has that you think you respond particularly well to, or was there a type of way he could motivate you or inspire you that you responded particularly well to?
Yeah, I think he was just like a big believer in me, but also like I've never really had a coach who cared as much for like the team and was putting in that extra work of like the scouting was crazy every week, and I don't know, just the way he held everyone accountable. Like obviously sometimes coaches got to get angry if we're slacking and stuff, but I feel like everyone respected it, and then you could always have a conversation with him, keep it 100% honest, which I like. Something it doesn't help when you're not being honest because it doesn't get anyone, but I know I just seem to I don't know, we just got along really well and still get along really well today, and just he helped me give me that little extra push for sure.
Talking about the previous NBL 1 campaign, not the most recent one that then got you into Cairns, starting to work out with a couple of teams, what does that actually look like? Like, are you flying into cities for a couple of days just to kind of prove your worth?
Yeah, I did. I think I did that with Brisbane. I went up there for like, they had like a similar, like an open, they're looking for like a roster spot and like 2 DPs or whatever. So I went up there. That was like a week-long thing. And that was pretty tough. It was just like, we're just playing a lot and, doing drills and stuff the whole week. So I did that once. And then once again, I did go up to, I think it was like later in their preseason just to do stuff with their team. And then obviously the Kings stuff, because obviously it's the easiest way here. And then talking to a few other teams at the time, but nothing really happened. But yeah, I don't know. I just, obviously, like, especially with when I was, trying to do the Kings session stuff, it's just awesome for the opportunity. You kind of want to drop everything just to do that for sure, because, you never know what happened. But there's also, even if, like, obviously I didn't end up signing with them, but it was still a good workout or a good scrimmage 100%. Or whatever. So, like, regardless, I enjoyed doing them for sure.
Yeah, and sort of touching on that, on being so close and then missing out.
Yeah.
How do you think you responded to that? Do you think that lit a fire, or do you think that crushed you a little bit?
I don't know. I'm kind of, I'm more of a relaxed guy, and like I always, if it's like I tried my hardest, and that year just didn't happen. So I'm like, next year I gotta, I guess it kind of lit a fire under me. I'm like, next year I have to, like, because I know I can. I'm there, and I still believe even that season, if I went to any team, I would have shown that I would have made it.
You have a spot.
Yeah, I have a spot, but that's fine anyway. It just happened a year later, but. Yeah, I guess it kind of motivated me a bit more, but also at the same time, I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, these things happen,
So then you have that year under your belt where you're playing confidently and you've had the experience of trying out for teams.
Yeah.
And obviously Cairns pretty much advertised being like, we have a training camp to find this spot. So you go over there. Talk to us about that.
So I went up to the open day thing. It was probably the the toughest day of basketball I've ever played, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. Talk, why in particular?
Well, because we just like, I flew up the night before pretty late as well. So I got there at like 12 and 9. And I had to be up at like 6. And then we're like straight there. We did like testing and measurements and stuff. But then we just like played. Like it was like I've never, there was heaps of teams. I think there was only 5 on each team anyway. So then we're just like, it was like 17-minute games, like halves or something. Whatever it was. We played so many games, and by the end of it, like everyone was dead, like cramping everywhere, and like then they cut it down, like so that we played a bunch of games, and they cut the group down a bit, and then we did a little bit more, and they cut the group down again. So by the end of the day, there was only 14, 15, 16 of us or something. I think it was 4 anyway. So like I don't know, even like every time we've had lunch, I'm sitting down, I start cramping, like. So like I had to you had to like keep moving. If not, I was cramping. Like you go up for a dunk and like bang, like cramping again. But then so then we kept going, and another 14 of us left, and I don't know, it was awesome though. Like that was probably the hardest. It was the hardest day of basketball I've ever played easily. Like I've never played that many games, and
obviously it's something on the line. The intensity.
So like, it's not like you can't quit, and like you just want to keep playing as hard as you can. 40's there, all the other coaches are there. But yeah, it was an awesome day. But like I left that. Some people stayed the night. I left straight away and went to the airport, and like as soon as I got out of the Uber of the airport, like I literally couldn't move. I got my bags out of the car and I sat down in front of the airport for like 15 minutes because my legs were cramping. I couldn't walk. Like I literally couldn't walk.
Wait, so that's all happening on one day? When did you get back?
That night from Cairns. Like
I literally it's not a short flight.
Yeah, but I was like, I just want to go home anyway. Yeah, so I was like,
it's a business trip.
Yeah, it's like Cairns like 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a short flight.
Okay, well, and on the topic of Cairns, and I mean we can get into that in a number of ways. I guess sort of first question I think of is that you sign as a DP, and people know in the NBL, the opportunities a DP gets often are super sporadic.
Yeah.
You might play in round 2 and then round 9.
You might not play at all.
It.
For a full season.
100%.
Yeah.
And kind of on the flip side of that, Cairns has been known for finding diamonds in a rough that then, sign somewhere else or improve at the own place. What is your mentality like when you know there's the opportunity, but you know that it may never come?
Well, I think, everyone knows in the NBL, some DPs will get an opportunity, but for the most part, it's a development play. Like, you're not expected to play. Like, obviously, if you're doing all the right things, you might get an opportunity here and there. But so I think even when I was there, like when I first got there, I was just trying to just learn and like do what I can, try and make everyone else better, and keep training good and just help people get better there. But like I didn't have expectations of like, I'm going to come in and play 15 games or whatever it was. But I was like, I thought I come in, make everyone better, and try to get better and show people that I belong in the NBL. But things happen.
Well, talk to us about this, because I mean, like, I swear I'm watching like the first couple rounds. A couple rounds later, you switch on the TV and there you are starting. You're playing like 30 a game and putting up numbers too. Like, so how the mentality of being able to jump from A to B that quickly. And I guess in a way, like talking about Cairns, you had nothing to lose, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Talk to us about the mentality.
Well, like before I got up to Cairns, like obviously a lot of people know that 40 will reward people for if you're training really well and you're doing all the right things, then like he'll play you. Like he doesn't. There's no like politics around. He's not scared to if someone's not doing the right thing. He'll tell them like, "No, sit down. You're not doing that." Or like, so he'll reward what people like. If you're doing the right thing, you're playing hard, or you had a good week in training. He'll be like, you deserve a little shot here. But obviously, we had so many injuries at the start of the season. A lot of our main guys out, so I got to travel like most weeks, which was awesome. Getting that experience of like my first like proper professional league and getting to travel and stuff with the team was awesome. But yeah, we had injuries as well, so and I must have been doing all right in training then because 40 would take me along, and then I got to debut against the Kings at home, which was awesome.
That was sick.
It was really cool. Really cool with all my family and friends there. So yeah, I think 40 just gives you opportunity if you're doing the right things.
Usually when DPs are playing, we hear stories, or I hear stories from coaches about like, dude, Davo with the third unit at Illawarra would just like roll the first unit and let them know about it. The coach got to a point where he was like, well, I have to play. I have no choice. Was it one of those? Like, do you think you were a little bit dominant at practice and they said, all right, we've got to get this guy involved, or just sort of luck of the draw?
No, I think I was doing pretty well in practice, and like the guys we're playing with, the third team or second team or whatever, would have like, I don't know, we have good chemistry. We're not trying to do too much, trying to just play the right way. And I guess just the effort, like just even just rebounding or little things, just showing that you're playing really hard in practice, Because that would happen, but also sometimes we get our ass whooped by starters. We're like, we're trying, but like, I don't know. I guess, I think definitely, I think training is a big part of it. If you're doing well there, eventually the coach has got to do something about it.
Listening to you speak in your other podcasts, like you say, training was hard.
Yeah.
And I guess with camps, like the mix of the weather, the resources, or let's call it limited resources, and the, I guess, identity that Cairns has itself. Like, what does the training look like? What's the difference? Why is it so intense?
I think it's just the 40 for sure. Like he holds everyone accountable, and when we're playing, everyone goes hard. And like I'm sure it's like that in a lot of other teams as well. But I guess this is my first time experience, or not necessarily, but one of the first times. Everyone goes hard, and they're your teammates, but you want to win, and things might happen, but everyone's just trying to play hard, and 40 keeps the intensity up, and he expects us to do that, so that definitely helped out for sure.
We've touched on most of the teams you've played on, but not all of them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you for your all-time starting five, all right? And you can't be in the team, and also to give you some time to think about it, I'll buy you some time. It doesn't have to be like the best team you can put together. It's like, these are 5 teammates I really enjoyed playing with, or they were good teammates for a certain reason. You can justify it however you want.
But just in general, like from high school to everything.
It could be, and be careful about who your point guard is.
It's got to be Gus for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Good
100%
answer.
Gus. Yeah, that's
We made one.
Yeah, 100%.
Taron Armstrong close second.
It's tough. Yeah, Terrence Simon two-way today, so it's tough. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
close.
you still got the edge, I guess. I know Will Johnson for sure.
Yeah.
Played comments with him for a lot. From Waverley, my boy Mike, he's like my best mate.
Mike?
Yeah.
At the 3 or what?
No, he can play the 5, undersized 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Chris Bryant from 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah.
That's my boy. He's really cool.
Where is he at now?
He's in, I think, Indonesia.
Indonesia, or Malaysia or something?
Oh, that's right.
Somewhere over there.
Yeah.
I'll give it Max. So Max is the guy I played when I went to Africa.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. The big vet there. I think I played the 3.
Fantastic. Let's talk about Africa.
Yeah.
Let's go to that. When was that? I know you sort of
2023 from like the end of I don't even know. That's
end of NBL 1?
September? Yeah, it was after
So
that. It might be September to October or something. It was around those months. I don't even remember.
Okay.
To be honest. But it would have been during the NBL 1 season. NBL season of that year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And what was it? Was it a tournament?
Yeah, so the BAL is the league over there. I think the NBA started it and stuff. So it's not bad. So it's like, but I played in it's like a tournament before that. So it's like, obviously a lot of countries in Africa have their own league.
Yeah.
And then so the winner of the country's league would go into the tournament called the Road to the BAL. So, how am I explaining this? Yeah, so so each country has their own league. The winner of that league goes into this tournament.
Yeah.
And then they play for like this, because there's only, I don't know, 10, 12 teams in the BAL. So like I don't know how it works, but the good teams that were in the league last year, so there's already like 6 teams already locked into the BAL. Okay. And then the rest of them had to do this like playoff kind of thing. So Liz Mills, she coached in North back in the day, and she's Australian. She's coached in Africa for ages. She asked me to come play for them. We had a couple of Australian dudes as well. Manny Malou played there. He played 36s before, and a couple of other dudes. I went over there. We played for a team that was from the Central African Republic. Kind of a crazy country.
Yeah, what was it like living there?
So weird.
Well, that's the thing. We couldn't actually go there because it's too dangerous. So the tournament was in. So we didn't really have like a preseason. So the tournament was in Cameroon. So I went to Cameroon a bit earlier. I had a few weeks of preseason and whatnot there. But no, it was also experience. It was crazy, the basketball over there.
Yeah, that's nuts. It's
that is genuinely so unique. Slipped out of my head. Completely forgot you did.
But it was awesome. We won the whole thing, which is cool. But
do you get paid per game, or is it a contract?
Nah, it's like a contract, but the team was sketchy, so I'm still owed money, and I'm sure like heaps of people. So I don't even know if the coaches.
Yeah, so we got one of them. It's
I got one of them, bro. So like, I got paid like a little bit when I was over there, and then I was meant to get paid the second half, and then paid the bonus because we won the whole thing.
And none of that came.
Yeah, but so what happened is so that didn't happen. So we won the whole thing. So that means their country, their team plays in the big BAL, which is like it's a proper league, and like the NBA runs it and all that.
Yeah. So
they didn't pay coaches either. So their team that we had and the team that actually played was completely different. So they sucked, and that's their fault. I was happy to see them lose anyway.
Yeah.
So they like Liz wasn't there. Jeff Sparrow, who's an American dude who's in Melbourne, was our assistant coach, awesome dude as well. I think everyone didn't really. So everyone half the team and the coaches weren't there for the actual thing. So they
like a mini All-Star game.
Yeah, they messed up. They messed up because they sucked anyway. So the actual one.
So justice, yeah.
But it was an awesome experience. Basketball over there is crazy. Everyone's athletic.
How long are you there? 2 months?
Yeah, like 2 months.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, 2 months.
Right. Okay. So that's an experience.
Yeah,
go over and do that.
100%.
And then you come back, all right, and you play last year's Inner West season, which it was different for you. Like you had an increased role, you were more important to the team. But how did you sort of balance being the guy with also sort of having a naturally I don't know what word I would use to describe the play style, but one that isn't ball dominant. Like you said a couple of times.
I don't know, typical, like,
Yeah. That's like, I don't know. I guess I kind of sometimes struggled with it because, like, people want me to do more. And, like, I can do, especially in NBL 1, like, I can score and stuff, but sometimes it just doesn't feel right, like, taking a million dribbles and going to do things. Like, I'd rather just play, like, the right way. But at the end of the day, I still was efficient, and obviously maybe I probably could have been more aggressive if people told me that. But, like, I don't know. I guess we had other guys who were a bit more ball dominant, and I guess that kind of helped. But I don't know. I just had to. I know it's weird because like it's true. Like I'm not ball dominant whatsoever, and like even for NBL 1, like the ways I score wasn't necessarily, wasn't really ISOs and stuff. Like I'm not gonna break you down, take like 20 dribbles and stuff. Like if I have you, I'll make a quick move and then do something. But I don't know. It was all right adjusting to it. I feel like I've kind of figured it out. So it was all right. It wasn't too bad.
I kind of want to get into your brain about this. Yeah. Like really dig deep into it because, you've always played that way? You've always played, I'm not a ball dominant guy, or
well, I guess
did it change?
Kind of like, I don't know. I guess it's kind of because like I'm always playing, especially through school and stuff. I'm going to play like the 3, 4, or the 5. Usually the 4 and the 5 because I'm taller than everyone right now.
Yeah,
I have been taller than everyone through there. So like. You're not necessarily a ball dominant, I can't speak.
Yeah.
Dominant player in those positions anyway. So, like, it wasn't too hard to, like, not do it. But then, like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. I feel like I've kind of always played like that. Like I wasn't expecting. Like I'm just getting most of my points are off like cuts, O boards, transition. Sort of ISO, but like obviously I'll get plays ran for me, but it's not necessarily for me to go to work. And if it is, it's usually me trying to get downhill or something because I can do that pretty well.
So do you think that's like a personality trait away from basketball? Like just you as a guy, it's more like I'm not selfish. I want to get other people involved. I want to do the right thing by people.
I think I haven't really thought about it, but I think probably like I don't know. I feel like I'm a very relaxed guy. I'm a pretty easygoing guy. I'm not trying to force anything on and off the court.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
it's like,
if this is going to help, this will work. And, I'm probably sometimes a bit quiet, even on the court or off the court. But, yeah, I think that's probably it, actually. I haven't really thought about it like that. But, yeah, legit, I don't know. It's probably, I'm a pretty relaxed guy on and off. And I guess that probably translates into my game sometimes.
Yeah, I think getting to the bottom of that with people I find so interesting.
Yeah.
Because it comes back to a coach.
Yeah.
The coach was really influential on me, so I'd play like this.
Yeah.
Or like my parents or somebody at a young age was an influence on me as a guy.
Yeah.
And so now I'm this type of person.
But I think it's so good. Like it's not a bad thing. It's so easy to find success through that. Everybody needs a guy like that, and it's always like easier to coach a guy like that. It's always easier to play with a guy like that. Like just makes life so much better.
I don't know. I think a lot of especially younger players like they don't understand that, and like that everyone always wants to do too much of the ball, and like I'm sure you guys see it all the time where there's like everyone wants to come off pick and rolls and ISO and shoot a bunch of threes, but it's not really going to help the team.
Love to help the team.
So let me talk to you about that, because I remember sitting down with DK a bunch of years ago, and he told me like players have to know their roles, they have to play their roles, they have to star in their roles. And you're probably like the perfect example of that, of like someone that just kind of like knew exactly what he needed to be about and progressed through that. So now talking about the younger ones, like about kids that doesn't really stick with, they don't really get it. What advice would you give on like sometimes less is more? How do you actually show that on court? How do you kind of show, all right, if you do this long term, you'll be successful?
Well, I think like even like last year before I left, like I saw when I'm coaching, some kids don't understand that I'm actually all right at basketball, and like if you listen to me, it might actually help me. And like I'm sure you guys do the same thing. Like they don't understand, like because they obviously when they're younger, they think like if you're good at under 12, that doesn't mean anything. Cool. Like you can shoot like a million threes, and you can just score. If you can dribble and make a layup, like you can score like 30 in every game. Yeah. But like I always try to tell kids like if you like, especially when I was doing, they weren't rep teams. They were like. It was like local comp, but like a lot of the kids were actually really good. But like I was trying to tell them that like all this stuff you're doing now, once you go play reps, like you're not doing any of this. And like 100%. If you can like do little things, play defense, that is what will get you on the court. Yeah. And like I think even like at any age group, like if you excel in like little things, you're going to get more opportunity to do more. Like and also you're not going to be able to do. You just want to be able to get on the court first. Like if you're just going to play defense and that gets you on the court. Then and then you slowly your coach will be like, all right, hey, run a play for you, get a shot here, or do whatever. Like, I think you got to focus on getting on the court first, because obviously when you're younger and stuff, it's not going to be. You can do whatever. Like I'm sure in high school and youth league, like in the teams we played for, and like against school, like we can do whatever we want. Yeah, and it's not an issue. But once you get to the next level, you have to excel in the little things.
Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah.
All right, I've got the rapid fire questions bowl. We're going to fire some questions at you.
Yeah.
Shaq.
All right. Favorite artist?
Music artist?
Yeah.
All artists?
All paintings.
No. Yeah, probably Drake.
Jordan or LeBron?
LeBron.
What would your superpower be?
Flying. Or teleportation, actually.
Yeah.
What are the colours on the South African flag?
Yellow, green, black. I don't know. Brown or something. I know. Like I'm telling you, I know if I can see a flag, I'll pretty much get every flag.
Oh, we should do that.
Bro, I'm telling you, we should do that. I'm telling you, I will nail like 9.
What flag is this?
Yeah, I can nail 9.
So what is this due to boredom as a child, or what's the reason why?
I don't know. I'm good at geography and flags and knowing like I'm telling you.
For me, I played FIFA.
Yeah, did you play FIFA?
I played FIFA a heap.
Oh yeah, no, I love soccer's like my second favorite sport. Yeah. So I know, like, I still follow soccer all the time. I know all the players, and that probably was a factor of it as well.
Yeah.
All right, we're doing a flag after this.
Yeah,
but
do
anyway,
it.
as you want.
What's your coffee order?
Strong cappuccino,
Sausage roll or meat pie?
meat pie.
What's your favorite shoe?
Kobe's, probably.
Free throw
Or
routine.
Free throw routine?
Yeah.
I just take a deep breath and take one dribble and shoot.
Books or movies?
Oh, movies.
Cricket or rugby?
Rugby.
Fantastic. Bingo. All right, I have a random flag generator. I'm going to generate a flag, and if I think it's random enough, we're going to ask Alex. Oh my God. All right. That's pretty random.
Nah, that's cool.
Look, this is a little crazy. But he asked, all right? What country is that?
Wait, hang on.
I don't know, Tunisia or some shit. I don't know.
Algeria?
No, it's Libya.
That's really hard.
Is that rude?
Yeah, that's
Should we do
really
one?
They're like next to each other. I get it. That's close, bro.
This is the one. This is a random flag, okay? Let's see if Alex knows what he's talking about.
Paraguay?
Bang!
Good job. Yeah, that's
All right.
pretty elite.
Bro.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so back from that, I have a bit of memorabilia I want to show to you. And if you want to see the photo, we'll put it on our YouTube page. But this is an old team photo of myself and Alex. Alex, does this bring back any memories?
Yeah, it's
Is there some
crazy.
familiar faces on
A lot of
that?
like baby faces, bro. It's crazy.
Especially you. You look like a baby
Yeah, I
in
know.
that
The
photo.
hair's short. And
Who's the best player in that photo?
at this time,
Yeah, at that time.
probably Boff.
Yeah.
I reckon it was Boff.
It was Boff. Quinn had a huge...
Actually,
yeah.
no, Quinn too as well. Quinn was crazy shooter there.
Was Boff the youngest here?
Nah, Ryan was.
Ryan.
But
Oh, right.
yeah, Boff was... He would have been young then. And then, I mean, famous head coach.
Yeah.
Jacob
It's a
Jacobs.
small world.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Long way from that, mate.
Did you guys win?
Half of them don't even play basketball anymore.
Dude, more than half. That's one of the funniest things I find about basketball.
Yeah.
Is like you have the exact same team in under 18s, or like when you're 20, you're all playing on the same team, and then 3 years later,
It's
Oh,
just,
it's
like-
wild.
yeah.
And telling kids that, or like telling people at that age, like, you just wait. Like, this is the bend, this is the curve
Yeah.
now, where everybody's going to go a million one separate ways.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, you can't see it at the time, but then you look back and you're like, holy moly, things
that's
are different.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like that was the CAS, our rep team for schools. But then, like, if you look at like the New South Wales teams or all these rep teams, I never made it. A lot of people never made it, but like, yeah, a lot of people phase out. Some people just play it when they're younger, and then once they finish school, they're like, oh, I don't know if I'm really feeling this anymore. I'm just going to go to uni and live the rest of my life, which is fine. But then, like, that's why I also think a lot of kids get discouraged if they don't make teams and stuff. But like, just be patient,
All right, yes. Let's dive deeper into that, because we spoke about it on a different episode, and like, I think it was with Robbo, like talking about when you're in those programs and that pathway, it seems like everything at the time.
Yeah.
Like, you're so like, I'm either in it or I'm not. And as you said, if you're not, it's very hard to be motivated from a guy that didn't make those.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't even in any of that really.
Yeah.
And now making it. What advice, or I guess, how do you keep going? How do you just kind of like stay in your tunnel vision and focus on you?
I think, you just have to, I know it's cliche, but like, believe in yourself that you can do it, but also like realize that, like, I got so much better after school. Like, I started playing reps at under 18s. Like, I really wasn't even that good. And even there in that CAS school representative team, I wasn't even that good compared to like 2 years later when I finished school. I think everyone just has to be patient and just realize that you can't always even though it's hard not to, but you can't always compare everyone else's career. Because like, there's so many kids, we all know, that played under all the rep teams or whatever. I played in higher teams, but I know this. Like, I have family friends and the younger kids, and they're stressing because they're in the second team of like under 12s rep, and I'm like,
yeah,
I wasn't even playing. I wasn't even playing basketball then. Like, it's all good. Like, you are so much better than me at that age.
Yeah.
Like, if you stick with it, like, you have a chance. So it's like, there's no pressure. Everyone has their own like trajectory, and you just gotta be patient.
It's good advice.
yeah. It always. I remember when I was in under 14s, we had like guys that were much better than me, and like parents would tell you, they'd be like, these guys are going to burn out. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and you just, in your mind, you're like, no, these are the guys. And, yeah, I mean, look, I was good in under 14. And look at me now.
Same size. The size is still good. It's still the same size.
I'm interviewing guys. Yeah. So, I mentioned before, I listened to the podcasts that you've done, and the Love of the Game podcast that you did, which was great. He said at the end, it was May last year, so it was not even a year ago. And he said, where do you hope to be in 2 years? And you said the NBL. And now it's been 10 months.
Yeah.
And you've kind of achieved that goal. Where do your ambitions lie from here?
I think just, being a roster player next year, and then just keep getting better and better every year, and keep getting, I was lucky I got to play, I don't know how many games this year, like 15 or I don't know, something which is crazy as a DP, but I want to play every game, and I just, hopefully the next year or two, I just keep getting better and get another deal somewhere and, keep going.
Solidify yourself in the league, for sure.
100%.
For sure. And talking about this coming, well, we call it off-season, but you'll be playing NBL 1.
Yeah.
What are your focus areas, I guess, in terms of improvement, things you want to kind of become a lead at for you to solidify yourself as a rostered player?
Yeah, I think for sure getting my handles better is important. And then just overall shooting, catch and shoot. I think I've shot well from the free throw line. I think that's important. That's mostly going to be my role, defend, rebound and catch and shoot. So if I can become even better, I think I've improved catch and shoot over the last few years, especially in NBL 1. And then this year I shot all right, but it took me a while. I think I was probably a bit nervous the first couple of games, but I think I slowly got better and better. But if I can become a lead at that, then I think I got a chance to be in the league a long time.
All right, Alex. Well, thank you very, very much for coming on. We really appreciate your insights, and we look forward to what you do next.
Awesome. Appreciate you guys having me.
Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate it.